Hello there guys, and of course welcome back into yet another one of us, the Review Bros. My name's Aaron and you joined solely with me today, so thank you for doing so on what is to be considered a hyped product. You've seen it in the thumbnail, but I'm going to show it to you guys right now. It is the new Doomsday pre-workout by the guys at Leviathan Labz. And this stuff is sold out of Predator Nutrition here in the UK. We've actually got a good friend of the channel to thank for sending it on down to us. About a quarter of a tub left. Let's not hang around and getting through the usuals. It's going to be the taste, the price, the label, and of course, primarily the effects in the real world. Now, this stuff is being likened to the Excelsior, the OG craze. So it's pertaining to us to be a stim junkie, absolute animal. And that is actually depicted on the Predator Nutrition website itself as well. So let's find out for you guys, is this worth the cash it costs? Right, so that moves us into the first segment, probably the least important, but we touch through it anyway, and that's the taste and the mixability of the product. So it comes in just the one flavour I can see on the website, which is Rocket Pop. Although I'll put a quick overlay and you can see it's still got that crystallised formation, that sort of gritty type powder that was, you know, that was something that really came with Excelsior, and it's got the same fruit punch smell to it as Excelsior. I think they've just renamed it Rocket Pop to make it a bit more interesting sounding. A scoop, guys, only weighs in at 5.5 grams. So in she goes. It's only a tiny scoop, guys. Prop blend at that, but we'll go through that in the label. Let's give it a mix. It's definitely, it looks and it smells like Excelsior. That's what it does. That's the truth. So, anyway. Mixed up, let's get through this. It tastes nice. It's not bad at all. It's fruit punch. It tastes like Excelsior. 9 out of 10. Just a bit boring, if anything, but it tastes nice considering what we're hoping for the effects to be. Let's get into the price point of this one. So guys, we're into the price of the product. How much is this going to set you back? And I can pre-warn you, it's going to set you back a big amount. You are going to have to get a mortgage out to get your hands on this product. Head on over to the official Predator Nutrition website where you can pick it up for £84.98. Admittedly, they've done a clever one here in adding a free pump product alongside it, but it literally says free pump product, so therefore we can't put any cost in towards it because it's free. So therefore this alone is £84.98. You do get a genuine 30 servings per the container, and when you do the math on that, it comes in at £2.83 per serving. We have a consistent pricing scale which really helps for occasions like this, where a 5 out of 10 is an average price point per serving across the entire world we consider by today's standards. This one actually falls off the scale, so therefore scores a 0 out of 10. The scale actually stops at £2.60 plus. So we're coming in at £2.83. It is a very pricey product, especially when you consider some extra factors such as a small scoop. And something that has to be mentioned at this point, we can't really take it into a full account, but at the same time we would have to say it. Excelsior, the comparison, back in the early iterations, used to actually be a 2-scoop pre-workout for the same weight of scoop, right? In newer versions, they actually dropped it back, I believe, more so for safety reasons, and called it out of nowhere a 1-scoop pre-workout. And a lot of people out there knew what they had to do, Excelsior, therefore they continue to take 2 scoops for the same desired effect. And therefore, I do think a lot of people will 2 scoop this. So we're coming in very close to £6 a serving if you were to take that, as I mentioned, into account. And we can get into silly pricing scores at that rate. Anyway, what does the label contain? Is it worth that money? Let's find out now. Okay guys, so we're into the label of this pre-workout. What has it got inside it that makes it so expensive and effectively supposed to be comparable to the OG Craze or even Excelsior? So you're going to have to bear with me guys, because this label on the tub is very, very small. But I'm going to flash it up on the screen for you to be able to see it right now. And that's what it is. So as I mentioned, it is a 5.5 gram scoop, 30 servings per container. Now, it's a proprietary blend, and for those of you new to the channel or the pre-workout world, a proprietary blend gives you the total volume, but it doesn't necessarily break down how much of each specific ingredient is in there. So for example, we don't know how much caffeine is in there. It just might be part of this blend. Let's get into it anyway. So we've got trimethylglycine up first, and that's effectively betaine anhydrous for endurance, pump, and just general bodily function. Okay, so that normally comes in at about 2.5 grams. That's what we want to see it at, and obviously that takes up a big percentage of the scoop weight straight off the bat. We next have creatine monohydrate for, again, strength output, athletic performance, some pump benefits. And again, you want to see that in there at least 3 grams, but preferably when it's in a pre-workout, which a lot of people argue it doesn't need to be, and we would go into the same line of that. It wants to be in there at the 5 grams. So we're already with those 2 ingredients. If they were dosed as we want them to be, that takes up over the scoop weight straight away. Okay, so you've got to bear that in mind when you do the proprietary blends. You've got to work it out for yourselves and determine whether it's got the right amount for you. We've got up next, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one, but it's orcholine, which is in there for blood flow. It's a vasodilator. It helps with nitric oxide precursor in terms of getting it into the system, but it also helps with stress during training. It helps with oxygen. It's an adaptogen. It's going to help you with physical and psychological endurance. We have up next, really struggling to see it here, cacao extract for the PEA. That's what the one they get through in their PEA. It gives you focus benefits, gets you in the zone, hopefully. The same can be said, oh, actually tell a lie, caffeine anhydrous is up next. And again, not too sure of the dosage, but hopefully around that 300 mark for energy and stimulation. The primary mover in any stimulatory pre-workouts, generally speaking. Urea durensis, again, they're going in there for the DMPEA effect, but it's in there for stimulation, focus benefits. It's effectively what the pre-workout calls a natural DMHA. Stimulation, focus, mood elevation, hopefully. We have up next Bohunia Preworkout extract, leaf and pod. Now that was famously in your Excelsior, and again that's in there for focus, but also it helps with stimulatory uptake, so therefore hopefully amplifies things within your pre-workouts. And then finalising the label, we've got Camellia africana extract, and that's sausage tree extract. Gives you energy and stimulation. Some call it, again, DMHA, but Juglans is DMHA. Everything's DMHA these days, but it's ultimately in there for your stimulatory purpose. So all in all, what do I think? I think a cleverly written label with a lot of confusing and rare ingredients. Not too many of those have got too much research behind them. And through our experience in the past, they've not done all too much when they are those ingredients. That is important to be said. Not a lot in there for pumps, 5.5 grams. In all, if I was honest with you, it's a poor label. With some potential to come together. That's what we're here to find out, of course, isn't it? Let's move into the effects of this product. And we're there, guys. We are into the effects of this pre-workout. One of the most hyped of recent times, okay? Now, it's very important that this is based on our own personal effects reactions. Craig's used it. I've used it several times now. I've used it on half a scoop. I've used it on 1 scoop, which is what they say is their serving. And that is actually what I'll be reflecting this review on. But just for the sake of those out there who are going to take the next steps, I've also tried it on 1.5 and I've tried it on the maximum, for me, 2 scoops. And I'm going to break down my honest effects. Now, for the half scoop, starting me straight in there, I didn't feel anything at all. No stimulation, no pumps, and no focus benefit uptake, all right? So therefore, I would recommend that to be completely out the window for anyone out there. And I was hoping that would come through because then it would make the pricing segment seem a bit better. If I could get away with telling you guys half scoop, it gets 60 servings and it would come in at a much better pricing point. But unfortunately, it didn't come through on that. Now, moving into what they say is the 1 serving, that's what we base everything on. We can't ever recommend doing more. This is what I have to be telling you. Again, I'll be honest, I wouldn't say I didn't feel anything because that would be a lie. And I'm 100% honest here. I did have a slight bit of energy and a slight bit of focus benefits. No pumps at all from this product. Like I said, it's so minor at that 1 scoop. It could have even been a placebo effect for me. But the 1 scoop, minimal energy, 4 out of 10 on energy out of pre-workouts, and probably very similar in focus, 4 to 5 out of 10. The focus was probably slightly better. A very basic, weak nootropic formula. And what I would have to say is it is absolutely disgusting, the pricing point for the 1 scoop. I wouldn't pay more than 90 pence a serving. I just wouldn't. It just doesn't come through. It crashes you out during your training as well. I wouldn't say a nasty crash, but what I mean is even that slight bit of focus, that slight bit of euphoria, focus, pump energy, is gone by the half hour after the effects have kicked in at all. So I'd put this pre-workout straight in personally, in one of the biggest cons of pre-workout history. And the only doomsday it's going to bring around is the doomsday on your wallet, unfortunately. Quite frankly, a poor effort. A very poor effort. So I could not personally recommend this product to anyone out there in the world. Honestly, this is where manufacturers take the P out of the consumer. They hype these products up to be the OG craze, Excelsior, knowing that unfortunately people do jump on the hype train. And that is where us as a review channel have to come in and put the brakes on the train and actually blow the train off the tracks into oblivion. Because
savage pumps in the gym and the bedroom. Wolf pump.
This cannot carry on. It's this type of practice that puts a downer on the entire pre-workout industry. It's quite frankly disgusting. The profiteers of this pre-workout should be ashamed. They're not going to be. They're going to be loving it. They're going to be loving it because they're going to be rolling in the cash. And the only thing we can hope is that going forward any further for Leviathan Labz is that people learn quickly and they never shop again with Leviathan Labz or wherever this pre-workout can be purchased. It's just poor. Now, I won't even bother actually giving you my 1.5 because it was very similar. The 2 scoops, there is something there, something illicit, but still so minor. I would say 0.25 scoops of the Excelsior. Like I say, there is something illicit in this at 2 scoops, But you've got to, guys, take into account that you'll be spending £5.50 on 2 scoops, which is beyond a joke. Yeah. Poor effort. Not even just a poor effort, a disgusting practice when they're taking the pee out of the consumer. So, Doomsday. I've been flashing up other people's comments over the top as an overlay, just so you can see it's not just us. And what I really need people to do, and please do it, if you have been one of the unlucky ones who jumped on the hype train, we're not blaming you. You know what? It's an exciting promise to give us OG Craze or Excelsior, isn't it? So I don't blame you, but please in the future wait for our reviews. That's something we have to do. That's the point in our channel at all. Without us doing the reviews, or you waiting for the reviews and purchasing the products, then kind of what's the point? But please do help yourselves out of this opportunity and write down in the comments down below your experiences of it. Because that's the only way that practices like this can be stopped in the future. We need to put a stop to it, and we need to put our middle fingers up to the people who sell this product and say, no, enough is enough. We will not take it anymore. We will put a stop to you. And thank you for watching. As always, guys, thank you. At this point, we say it. Stay stimmed. But not on this poor, disgusting product.